Good afternoon, students. So this is your bio teacher Rajandeep Singh. So I will teach you in subject enrichment class. So as you know, parallelly Pramila ma'am is teaching, and she is teaching you. She started with the chapter 8, that is the cell structure and its function. So today also I'm going to start with the same chapter, that is the cell structure and its function. So I will discuss two chapters parallelly. One is the chapter 2, that is the biological classification, and second the chapter number 8, that is the cell structure and its function. So before I start with the topic, first of all I just want to discuss something regarding the need, that is um, for the need for, if I talk about the bio, the most important thing is to follow the NCERT. Many students used to do mistake that they follow some reference books, which is good, you should follow, I agree, for the NEET exam, but they don't read the NCERT book throughout the year, especially if I talk about the class 11, which has more chapter as compared to the class 12. In class 11 there are total 22 chapters, whereas in the class 12 there are only 16 chapters. So when you will take an exam of the NEET around 2022, at that time the class 12 will be ready, but you will face problem in the class 11. So for that I just want to discuss the first rule for the preparation of NEET is to revise your syllabus again and again. When you will be in class 12, you will revise the syllabus of class 11 at least twice in a month. So that will help to cope up with the problems which students used to face during the NEET exam. Then students used to drop their 1 year and then they prepare for the NEET. So that's what we're gonna do during these 2 years, that we will prepare you for the NEET exam. We will try our best so that we can put best knowledge in you so that you can compete the NEET exam and you can crack the NEET exam. So you know that in the NEET exam there are total 180 questions, and out of 180, 90 are of bio, so which include the syllabus of plus 1 and plus 2. So there is a myth that the syllabus of plus 1 used to come more in the NEET exam, but I want to say that almost 50% of both the classes used to come in the NEET exam as per my knowledge. And now these days NEET is getting very tough, so it's very hard time when you should do your study regularly. And this is my request to you all, that when you will prepare for the NEET exam, like now from today onwards I'm gonna teach you bio, you will prepare your own notes. That will help you after 2 years. So you will prepare your notes. So now without wasting any time, let's start with the first topic of the bio for the class 11, that is RH Whittaker's 5 kingdom system of classification. Whenever I teach any class, it doesn't matter it is class 8 or 9 or 11, I used to start my topic with RH Whittaker's 5 kingdom system of classification, because it is directly linked with the chapter 8 as well as with chapter 2. If you know about the RH Whittaker's 5 kingdom system of classification, then you will have better understanding about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So now I'm going to start with the first topic, that is RH Whittaker's 5 kingdom system of classification. Now RH Whittaker classified all the living organisms except viruses and lichens. Viruses are the bridge between living and non-living world, so he could not classify viruses. Lichens are the symbiotic relationship between two organisms. One is the fungus and another is the algae. You must have read this topic in class 9 if I talk about the CBSE students, and I am sure the ICSE student must have read about the topic lichens, which is the symbiotic association between the fungus and blue green. So he could not classify the lichens and viruses into the five kingdoms. Rest all the living organisms were classified into five categories. So let's discuss. So you have read in class 9 also, but what I feel, if you are starting with the chapter classification, biological classification, and chapter 8, you should know about it. So R.H. Whitaker took some criteria on the basis of certain characteristics. He classified the organisms into five groups, to which we call five kingdom system of classification. The first one was based on the nucleus, especially if I talk about the nuclear membrane. If the genetic material was not covered by any nuclear membrane, that is, well-defined nucleus was absent, he classified all those organisms as prokaryotes. And their kingdom is kingdom Monera. So, all the prokaryotes come under kingdom Monera, and the examples which you should know, it is bacteria, blue-green algae, and archaebacteria, mycoplasma. These are the examples which you should know. So kingdom Monera includes all prokaryotes which do not have well-defined nuclear membrane. So after discussing this classification, then I will discuss about the structure of the prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, plant cell, animal cell, which come under eukaryotes. So if there was a well-defined nuclear membrane, then the second criteria which he took, it was the cellularity, means whether the organism was unicellular or multicellular. If the organism was unicellular, then he classified all unicellular eukaryotes under kingdom Protista. So kingdom Protista includes three groups. It is a very dynamic group. That was the kind of drawback of R.H. Whitaker also, that he classified autotrophs, unicellular autotrophs, unicellular heterotrophs, unicellular fungus-like organisms, all under one category, that is kingdom Protista. So there are basically three groups. One is the Protestant algae, second is the Protestant molds, and third one is the animal-like, that is protozoans. So three categories were under kingdom Protista, which included all unicellular eukaryotes. So amoeba is protozoan, which comes under kingdom Protista. So now from today onwards, now for the NEET exam, it is very important to understand that you should have very minute knowledge also. From the root level, you should know each and everything. There is a concept understanding also, plus your retaining power should be very good. Like if from today onwards, if I will ask you that what is the difference between bacteria and amoeba, do they belong to the same category because they are the unicellular, your answer should be that bacteria is unicellular, amoeba is also unicellular, but their categories are different. Why? Because bacteria do not have well-defined nucleus, and bacteria is the prokaryote and comes under kingdom Monera. Whereas in case of amoeba, there is a well-defined nucleus and it comes under kingdom Protista. So you should know the basic difference between kingdom Monera and kingdom Protista on the basis of the nuclear membrane. Now next criteria what he followed, if the organism was multicellular and eukaryote, then he classified the organism on the basis of presence of cell wall. If you will compare the plant cell and the animal cell, you will find that in case of animals, in their cells, the outermost covering is the cell membrane and the cell wall is absent. But if you will compare the plant cell, then what you will observe, in addition to plasma membrane, there is another covering to which we call cell wall. So cell wall is the outermost covering in case of plants. But plants not only have cell wall, but if we say bacteria and fungus, they also have cell wall. So fungus also have cell wall. Plantae, kingdom Plantae, which include all the plants, they also have cell wall. Then if fungus and plants both have cell wall, then how the RH taker classified the plants and fungus into different categories? Then he took the another criteria, that is the nutrition. Those plants which were autotrophs, he classified those organisms under kingdom Plantae, whereas those were saprophytes, heterotrophs, he classified those organisms, that is which cannot prepare own food, into kingdom Fungi. Maybe later on I will discuss that what is the more like, if say we talk about the cell wall, the cell wall of the plants is made up of the cellulose, whereas in case of fungi the cell wall is made up of a complex sugar which is we call chitin. You will understand better about cellulose and chitin in chapter 9, that is the biomolecules. So besides this, to understand about these 5 categories, you should know about the examples also. If I say Spirogyra, it's a plant algae. If I say Oscillatoria, this is again algae. Okay, if I say Rhizopus, it's a bread mold, it comes under fungus. If I say Agaricus, to which we call mushroom, it comes under fungi. If I say Cyanobacteria, to which we also call blue-green algae, it comes under kingdom Monera. Every year used to, I think 2 or only 1, I think 2 questions used to come in the NEET exam from this topic related to the examples and with the prokaryotes. Specifically if I talk about the prokaryotes, 2 questions used to come, means 8 marks paper used to come from this topic. So you should know about the examples, you should know about the 5 kingdoms, you should know which one is the unicellular eukaryote, which one is the unicellular prokaryote. Prokaryotes means unicellular, but eukaryotes doesn't mean unicellular, they can be multicellular also. So you should have basic idea. If the cell wall is absent, then kingdom Animalia. If cell wall is present, then if there is a autotrophic nutrition, Plantae. If there is a heterotrophic nutrition, then fungi. Then you should know about all the examples of these 5 kingdoms. Learn examples as much as you can, because lot of questions used to come based on the examples. In bio, if I talk, the toughest part is to learn the scientific names, to learn the names of the organisms which belong to different categories. So this is the first biggest challenge which you have to accept, and you have to do it from chapter number 2 and chapter number 8. Okay, so this is the basic idea about the RH Whittaker's classification. If you want to read this from the NCERT, you can read this topic from chapter 2, that is biological classification. I am discussing this topic because it is directly related with the chapter 8. Because if you are studying the structure of prokaryotes, first you should know that to which category prokaryotes belong. And you should know that how prokaryotes are different from amoeba. So for that, now we're gonna study, that is we're gonna discuss about the different types of cells based on the nucleus. That is, first we will discuss about the structure of prokaryotic cell, that is the bacteria. Then we will discuss about the structure of eukaryotic cells, which include plant cell and animal cell. So in the next video I will discuss about these 3 cells, their structural components, and on the basis of that I will start with the topic in detail, that is the structure of prokaryotic cell. So next video will be interlinked with this video. Okay, so thank you. So with the continuation of the second video, you can correlate this video. Okay, thank you.